All right, y'all, we are live, and as you can see, we got some powder on the ground here in southeastern Pennsylvania. We're out here gonna shoot the bow today. I did a little recurve shooting yesterday. That was pretty enjoyable, pretty fun. But yeah, we're gonna do some compound today out in the snow, have a little bit of fun, and enjoy the beauty out here today. I mean, snow is such a cool thing, man. It's just so cool to see it. I know a lot of people hate it, but I think every season has its perks, and snow is definitely one of the perks of this time of year. So yeah, we're gonna get the target set up. That's the first thing we're gonna do. I'm gonna take this bad boy. Whoa, slippy. We're gonna take this bad boy, put it down there at 40, and yeah, we got that one's at 30. Hold on, that one's at 30. But that one has a bunch of holes in it because that's my old one, and I've really worn through that thing. We're gonna take the new one, put it down at 40. So, long time no see. How's it going? Yeah, it hasn't seemed like you guys have been in here much lately. Yeah, the only one. Yeah, we started it up less than a minute ago, so we'll have people file in here shortly. I'm gonna run down there, put this target that's sitting right there down at 40 yards, and I'll be back. Hey, Raptor Will, awesome members in here. I'm struggling with directions today. 40 yards, 30 yards. I didn't bring my rangefinder or my monocular over, which was an oversight by me, but that's all right. We got our first shot of the day downrange, see how we feel. 4 people in here so far. Alrighty. Looks like 30 people in here. 31. Thank you guys for coming in. Got some fresh snow here in southeast Pennsylvania. 40-yard target. See what we can do. First shot of the day. 70-pound bow. Alright, here we go. I was using my 20-yard pin. That's rookie mistake. I was so focused on putting some of the fundamentals that I practiced on the last live into practice. It was a really good shot from that regard, but we used the wrong pin. This is why you practice, guys. I've been, as you guys saw in the previous live, putting some really good time in, just bringing it back to the basics on some of my fundamentals, and that was a really good shot from that perspective, but used the wrong pin. So let's use the 40-yard pin this time. All right, 40-yard pin, the bottom one, not the top one. Don't know exactly where that hit, but it's close. I saw a head behind the tree. Anytime you're out in the woods on a live, everybody loves to tell you there's someone like hunting you or Bigfoot's there. I don't know why that is. Beautiful bow. Yes, indeed. Get a bow for Christmas? I did not get a bow for Christmas. Is it dangerous? Well, it is, but you gotta shoot it safely in a safe manner, set all those things up so that way you're not putting anything in danger. A G5 bow? I didn't know G5 made bows. I know they make broadheads, but yeah. It's a toy. It's definitely not a toy. This is the bow I'm going to take for hunting deer next deer season. So yeah, most definitely not a toy. You would love to be the arrow. Why? Because you can fly. Flying sounds cool. If the string goes against the arm, it hurts. It does. That's why you have to have proper alignment. I don't know what my group's looking like because I forgot my binocular. And from this far, I can't totally see it. But I don't want to interrupt the live to go grab it. That was a good shot. What's the pullback? 70 pounds. What state are you in? Southeastern Pennsylvania. Are you a pro? Yes or no? No, definitely not. But I'm better than quite a few people, but there's definitely a lot of people better as well, so. Huh. Love the sound, sweet. Ain't that still a little weak? That's the maximum that this particular bow will go up to. This bow maxes at 70 pounds, so. And that's what most bows max at. So I'd say in general, it's pretty high actually. There's a couple companies that make one that maxes at 80. Anything above that's custom. So there's a couple Hoyts out there that are built to go above 80. There's a couple 90-pound Hoyts. Some people have bows that are set to higher than that, but that's pretty much custom stuff. So what brand of bow do you shoot? This is an Elite Terrain. Upstate Colorado, sweet. That Genesis, yeah, no. Elite Terrain. No real reason to have a heavy pull bow. I mean, speed's always nice. More penetration is always nice. But the main thing is you need to be able to control whatever weight. I lift a lot. I'm young. I'm fit. So I could probably pull a 90-pound bow, and an 80-pound bow would probably be pretty comfortable. This is 70, and like that's what 70 looks like. It is. Here's my letdown on 70. I'm well in control of 70 pounds. I could definitely shoot 80 and have no issues whatsoever, but there's no need for it. It is nice in some capacities. But yeah, if you can shoot it comfortably, that's the key. Might as well, but a lot of people can't. So yeah, this is 70. And my letdown was 70. So I'm very in control of this weight, and that's the big deal. Shoot as high of a poundage as you can do comfortably. So are you 19? I'm 18. I turned 19 in April. So I will go clean through deer, indeed. I feel like that last shot was really good. We're at 40 yards. There's 2 targets down there. The further one, so let's see if we can use the tip of my arrow. That guy's 40, that guy's 30. April 21, that's not it, but if someone else's birthday's on April 21st. Ever seen a squatch? I've not. All right, here we go. One more shot for the first group. That was a little punchy on the trigger, just a little bit, not much. A little punchy on the trigger, but not bad. How far does it go? Well, we're shooting at 40. Longest shot I've ever taken with this bow is 90 yards. I'm not in an animal, that's just target practice. But yeah. I guess we'll go down and take a look at the group. I know there's one that's high and right, which wasn't great, but stop using bows for the most part, keep losing arrows in the swamp. That makes sense. I wish I had my monocular and my rangefinder, but I forgot both of them at the house. My house is right there, but I'd have to go leave the live to go get it. So if my mom and my dad and my sister are all up at the house, sometimes they pop in to the live to see what I'm doing. If one of them pops in, I will request that they retrieve it for me and run up there quick. But what's because you missed the target? I don't know what you're referring to. Oh yeah, grouping generally high, interestingly enough. I don't know why it is. All right, we're back. Hopefully people start coming back in. Yeah, I really can't see. I mean, I can hear him hitting the target. I can see the target shimmying a little bit, but without my monocular, I really can't totally see where we're hitting, which is slightly unfortunate. I forgot it at the house, which that right there is our fence. So I could pretty easily go grab it, but I'd have to like take my boots off and go run upstairs, all this stuff. So we're just gonna live with it. I'll get you so you can see the bow. "26 people back in here." Oh, this one fell down in the snow, and I got snow on it. 25 by. Don't know what that means. Middled that one. That's pretty good. Tap that off. 36 people in here. All right, we'll do a quick breakdown of the form. So first thing I do, I get my grip set. Well, actually, first thing I do, get my release hooked on there. I get my grip set. So I'm pushing through this meatier section of my hand. Hand is mostly horizontal, not vertical. So that way I'm not twisting that grip and making sure I'm not torquing it. Get those fingers set on there. They're just resting. And then I draw it back. When I draw back, I use my back muscle, or I use my back and rear delt muscles. And then I lock in. Once I get to full draw, just squeezing back here, pushing with my front hand a little bit. Get my pin kind of floating generally over top of the target, staring at the target and not my pin. And then I start to lay on that trigger, let it break. I'm not squeezing it. I'm just kind of slowly pulling through it, and eventually it'll break over. And my body will try to auto-correct back towards the middle, and we'll see what we do. was a little punchy on the trigger, but not much. We'll take one more shot. No, we'll go down and get it. It's tough because I can't totally see where I mean, they're in the middle generally, but I can't see. Whoa, sorry about that. I can't see totally where they're hitting because I forgot my monocular back at the house. But yeah, that further target, we got one right there. There's one back there at 40. So let me go grab that. All right, I'll be back. Thanos. All right, we'll get you guys set up behind me for a couple more shots from that angle. Everyone's saying hi. All right, 40 yards again. Well, we'll put one at 30 yards, shoot at the top right dot, and then go back to 40. I think I nailed the 30-yard shot. I think part of the problem is I'm having trouble getting like a clear sight picture. It's cold. My eyes are watering a little bit. We got a lot of, the camera probably doesn't do it justice, a lot of reflection off the snow. So watery eyes, that, you know, water refracts light, and a lot of light coming in makes it hard for me to get a clear visual of my sight picture out at that distance. So kind of blink it out to see if that helps at all. What bow is that? This is an Elite Terrain, 70 pounds. Back to 40 yards. See, I can see the 30-yard shot. I cannot see the 40-yard shot. It's just I'm not getting good visual out there. I really need my binocular, and I left it back at the house, which is right up there, but I'd have to like leave you guys to go grab it. Yeah, it's pretty sweet. I love my Elite Terrain. Coworker was killed by a bow and arrow, and her boyfriend at airport many years ago. Hate weapons that kill. Well, it's the people that are the problem, not the weapons. I mean, give a bad person a ruler and they could do bad things with it. I mean, think of the September 11th attacks. They were using utility blades to threaten people and gain control of the planes. Like, it's people that are the problem, man. I understand the sentiment, but it's really a people problem. Oh, I've got plenty more arrows here. I don't know where I'm going. Rockhead 81, that's a cool name. 56 people in here, 23 thumbs up. Don't glorify killing weapons. Well, this is a recreational device is what this is. I'm just out here shooting targets. I will take a deer with it eventually, which is just enjoying the outdoors, recreation. This isn't meant to harm anybody, so if you don't appreciate it, you feel free to move on. That's not a problem by me. You don't have to stay here if you don't want to be here. I think we're grouping a little bit better down there now. I'm just like, you breaking in the bow or hunting? Well, we're just practicing. I do a lot of practice. Practice makes perfect, all that. And yeah, I just enjoy shooting it. Like, I really like shooting my bow. So puzzles or puzzies, I don't know what that means. X-ray. Yeah, they're great tools for stuff, for enjoyment, for harvesting animals. They're great tools. Yeah, so we will be hunting with this bow next deer season. But yeah, right now we're just shooting for the fun of it and for some practice. Another 40-yard shot. That was a good break. I can see where that one hit. Bow model, this is an elite terrain. Yeah, I'm just really struggling with the snow. To see, which is a little weird. It's just, there's a lot of light coming in, a lot of white. It's like, have you guys ever looked up at like lights and then you see that little haze after you look away? That's kind of what I'm experiencing a little bit, which is weird. You're handsome. Well, thank you. I try my best. Not much I can control in that regard, but my girlfriend likes me, and that's all. That's about all I care about. She's pretty awesome, amazing woman of God, makes me better. So as long as she likes me, I think we're sitting pretty. But other than that, whatever. Little low, but right in there. Snow blinding. Yeah, I'm struggling with that as I'm trying to stare at this little dot on the target that I'm trying to hit. Polarized glasses will help, maybe. It's just like there's a lot of light coming in from all the snow. And hey, this is why you shoot in different conditions, because you get out there, you don't know what conditions are going to throw, or the conditions are going to throw at you when a good deer that you're going to try and take walks up. And hey, this is how we prepare. Somebody needs to hunt the zombies. Maybe. I don't know. All right, I'm out of arrows. Let's go see how we did. I had my connection, my house is over there, so my Wi-Fi will still connect from this far away because we've got like a fancy router and all that. My dad got one on like crazy sale, but I'm now on data. I turned off my Wi-Fi, so we might be able to walk down here to the target and still have good connection. We shall see. Let me know if it starts being choppy. Oakley makes some amazing polarized glasses. I have some polarized glasses. So here was our 30-yard shot. It's a bit high, and that I think is just me. I don't know. But yeah, it's right in there. A little bit high, 30 yards. Here's 40. So yeah, generally 2 right in the zone, 1 a little bit low, 1 a little bit left, and 1 a little bit high. It's just kind of all over the place. I mean, all those would have been a good shot on a deer from 40, and I'm probably taking shots from 20, not 40. But yeah, it's been a little all over the place, and I think part of that is just how much light I'm getting. It's hard to see, man. I mean, my sight picture looks something like this that I'm looking at, and it's just white around this bright yellow target. There's a lot of light, and I'm trying to aim right here, so it's a little bit tough. Deer would fall, yep. And this is 40. And I'm probably not taking shots from 40. I'm probably taking them from 30 and in. So we'd be A-okay, but I'm not satisfied with A-okay. I'm always looking to do a little bit better. But yeah, so grab the one from the 30. I'm really hoping my mom or dad or sister, someone in the house pops into the chat and says hi, so I can be like, I need my monocular, it's up on my desk. Could you bring it to the front door and I'll just run up there and get it? But I don't know. We can only hope. Sometimes they do check in on me, where you at, what you doing, that sort of thing. I have an amazing family, so I'm very blessed. Yeah, all those shots. So I think that target has two different sides. It has 5 different like separate points, and it has that side where they're kind of all put together. And I think the idea is if you aim at the middle of that and you hit anywhere in that kind of like blob of targets, that would have been in the kill zone. So all those were good, but from 40. But I usually, for those of you guys who are frequent flyers of the channel, you know I typically shoot a little bit better than that. I'm definitely struggling slightly with the amount of light input I'm getting. It's a different thing. That's why we shoot in different conditions, because this is a new challenge to face for me. So I'm usually like, if I shot that same group 5 arrows, I'd probably have 2 or 3 of them in the dot, and the other ones would be all within an inch. So what broadheads did you get? I haven't selected yet. I think for sure I'm gonna get some G5 Montex, which are a fixed blade broadhead. But I might get a mechanical as well. I'm getting the Montex because worst comes to worst, I have a fixed blade broadhead that I can use and that I know is a trusted product. And what I'm going to do with that is I'm going to use the fixed blade to broadhead tune and make sure my bow is dead straight, because if it shoots a fixed blade straight, it's definitely going to shoot a mechanical straight. I'm going to use the G5s for broadhead tuning, and that might be the broadhead I end up using, but I'm going to look into some mechanical options as well. Eye black, yeah, that's interesting. Eye black for snow shooting. That's a good idea. I might give that a shot. I can see that one. Dead middle, left and right, but it's a little low. Maybe an inch low. I can see where that one hit. It's weird. So what I'm noticing is if it hits high or low of where where I was trying to hit, I can generally see it because I can watch it in that arc. But if somehow I torque the bow a little bit or I break a little left or right, I tend to not be able to see it and like track it because I'm looking dead straight at the bullseye. As I said, good shooting technique is you want to stare at the target, not your pin. So I'm staring dead at the middle of the target. If I miss left or right, I tend to not be able to track it down. But if I miss vertically, I can see it because it'll arc right through my line of sight. So that's interesting. If I can see it, it's most likely left and right good. And it's vertical miss or vertical on, whatever. If it misses left or right, probably can't see it. That one might be dead on. I don't know. That one's tough. I think it's dead on. Wonder if real snow glasses would be difficult to shoot with. I've shot with like polarized glasses on before when it's real sunny. I kind of hate it. So I like the eye black idea a little bit more, but I guess there's nothing wrong with giving it a shot. So yeah, I kind of hate shooting with glasses on. So with really anything, I shoot my slingshot with safety glasses on because it's an elastic band, and if it snaps, it might just come back at your face. And I hate that too. So I shoot when I go hunt with firearms or any of that sort of stuff. I wear my safety glasses. Don't really like that, but that's easier because when you anchor the firearm, if it's a rifle, it's anchored on your shoulder. If it's a handgun, it's all the way out here. So it's not close to your eyes where the glasses are, but like slingshot, you're anchoring here. Bow, you're anchoring here. All that stuff, it's anchored close to where your eyes are, and I really don't like that. It just feels weird. little right, I think. I don't know. It's tough, man. I really wish I had my binocular. Just heard a rifle shot go off. That's weird. Deer rifle season's over. Pound draw, this is 70. 70-pound draw. Oh, where's my arrow going? Make sure I just didn't like stab something. Yeah, we're good. I'm a football fan. I love watching football. I do a lot of football watching while I do my college work, my homework, and I'm excited to see the national championship game today. I have strong opinions on who I think is going to win. Anybody else got any ideas? Real snow glasses have a small slit that you look through, kind of like the pinhole in a box of seen eclipse. Interesting. I'll have to look into those things. Still live? Oh yeah, Randy caught one. Randy's been missing the lives while they're actually live lately. So he got to catch one. We're out in the snow, Randy. Randy loves the snow. Patriots gonna win, so bet on them. Drake May's been looking good. I think they're gonna win the AFC Championship for sure, because Bo Nix isn't starting. That's rough. Second to last play of the game, he broke his ankle. I actually, I wouldn't be surprised if Patriots won, but my pick's the Seahawks. I think Seahawks are winning. I'm an Eagles fan, obviously, so I'm disappointed that the Eagles got beat by the 49ers. Not surprised, but disappointed. Kevin Patullo has been terrible all year. Every Eagles fan everywhere has said that, and nobody was surprised. Demolished your last target. There you go. That was a little punchy, but it ended up dead middle, so. Marqua Dottie. Make sure, I'm not going to get rid of this one, but we are family-friendly chat, so we try and keep any sort of profanity out of there. Ball sports get on my nerves. That's kind of why they're fun. But, yeah, you can't be too invested. It is a team, after all. It's not like, the life doesn't depend on it. So, but yeah, no, it's enjoyable. I love football. Football is definitely my favorite. I'll watch some basketball, watch some baseball, watch some hockey, but football, I like. We'll sit down. My typical Monday, Thursday, Sunday routine is Monday night, Thursday night, Sunday night. I'll sit down in front of the TV, turn on the X night football, Sunday night football, Monday night football, whatever, and I'll get homework done. And I can actually listen to it because I'm a mechanical engineering student, so all my coursework is like numbers based. So I can listen to the words in the football and have it not interfere with my ability to get good work done. So sit down there, do some dynamics problems and some computer science work, all that, and just watch some football. It's a good deal. Ever hit a person? No, I make sure I take really good safety precautions when I shoot my bow. This is a 70-pound draw weight, shoots 260 feet per second with my draw length, which is shorter than most people. All that sort of stuff. I make sure I always pay attention to that. It's really important to me. College football. Randy, you gonna watch tonight? Who do you think's gonna win? I have strong feelings that Indiana's gonna win, but what's the best expo you've been to? I've really only been to 2 expos. I've been to the Great American Outdoor Show in Harrisburg. I think that's what it's called. The big outdoor show in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. And I've been to the Philadelphia Fishing Show. Out of those 2, it's kind of tough because they're very different. Fishing shows always hit close to home because that's where my outdoor journey started. But this year, I went to the Philly Fishing Show. If I go to the Harrisburg Outdoor Show, which I don't know if I will, I think that one will be my favorite because I'll probably spend a lot of time looking at archery and camping stuff, that sort of stuff. Can't see the target when you shoot. Thank you, Den, for telling me such things. So I'll turn it a little bit and I will shoot from right here. How's that? What bow are you shooting? Elite Terrain, 70-pound draw. Yeah, I shoot 27-inch draw length, shooting 260 feet per second with my Easton 6.5s. Good stuff. That was a good shot. That was pretty much dead middle. I think we're tightening up our group. I think I'm just kind of getting used to the snow in my sight picture. Oh, whoa, whoa. There you go. American here, living in Chechnya. I think that's how you say that. I was there at Fishing Show in Oaks. Yeah. I was there with 2 other YouTubers. I didn't film anything because I was in and out pretty quick. I've been there 3 years before. So I've kind of like a lot of the vendors, I'm already familiar with their stuff. If I want more of their stuff, I typically just buy it online. But I did get a couple Euro tackle baits. Love their stuff. The micro Z vibers for ice fishing and ultralight fishing. I picked up a few of those. They look really good. I haven't got a chance to look at those before. I picked up a replacement rod for a rod I broke on a live back in September. And I picked up some more Gyutaku stuff. And then I was out of there. I went with Raptor Will, who was in the chat earlier, and Anyfin is Possible, Bob from Anyfin is Possible, who's a friend of the channel. If we're live long enough, there's a good chance he ends up popping in because he typically works his way around the community and checks in on people. He might end up being in here later. So, pretty small show this year. Yeah, I went on Friday too, which I don't know if it's bigger or smaller than I usually go on Saturday. I don't know if Friday is a small day. It was kind of lacking. I agree. Back to school yet? So yeah, we had last week was my first week back at college for this semester after winter break. Went really well, but it's Martin Luther King Day, so I luckily enough have off today. But I'm going back tomorrow. Did an oil change on the truck today. Hung out with my girlfriend. Taught my sister some guitar, and now we're out here shooting. So. Don't know your state, but really digging the beautiful snow. Southeastern Pennsylvania. What you shooting at? So we got down here at 30 yards, we have a target. And if you see, there's another one past it. That's at 40 yards. And we're shooting at that right now. I went Saturday and went out fishing on Sunday. Sweet. Yeah, we went fishing on Saturday beforehand because they open at noon. Got a couple wild brown trout in Valley Forge. And then we hit the show and did some YouTuber chatting. And then we all went home. So... full day? Yeah, we're off the full day, but I'm back tomorrow, so. Oh, look, there's a cardinal over there. Hold on, I'm going to turn the camera so if you guys can see it. Cardinals are a beautiful bird if you're not familiar. Let me see. There he is. See that spot of red? That is a cardinal. It's a beautiful bird. I don't know if it'll zoom in anymore. And that's about all we get. There we go. All right. Can you guys see? Nope, not at all. All right, there we go. Let's make another shot. 92 people in here. He's filming you too, probably. Do you fly fish? Yes. Yes, I do. That felt pretty good. Cardinals always stick out in snow. Yeah, and they kind of, tell me if I'm correct, they're migratory, and they kind of come only in the snowy weather. Oh, there's another one. They kind of only come in the snowy weather. Am I getting that right? I think they actually, for some reason, come to this area when it's winter. I could be getting that wrong. I catch my trout on the fly. Yeah, I caught, the one I caught on that Friday was on the spinning gear, but I catch lots of stuff on the fly as well. I tie my own flies. If there's an outdoor activity, I've probably dabbled a little bit. There's some I do much more than others. Do a lot of archery, a lot of fishing, some camping, some gold panning, but like I dabble in a little bit of everything. That's why my channel is called Mission Discover. I just come at it from a learning attitude, just try and see what I can learn, share the things I'm learning, the experiences I'm having with you guys so you guys can learn as well. I dabble in a little bit of everything, but fishing and archery and camping are probably the big main things. I just don't have enough time to go camping often, but if I did, I'd probably go more. That's awesome. Herbs in here, yep. Off work in 10 minutes, sweet. Wonder if it would disintegrate if hit with an arrow. Yeah, we're not gonna shoot that, that's illegal. Shooting migratory songbirds is illegal in Pennsylvania, so we're not doing that. Where are you from? Southeastern Pennsylvania. Rod Wilson's in here. Thomas Foster sent New Year's Eve 2026. Thank you. Thank you for that gift. So yeah, we're not going to do that, but I will be squirrel hunting with my recurve bow next squirrel season, so that'll be pretty fun. All right, let's go take a walk, take a gander, and see how our grouping from 40 was this time. I think it was better. I'm just getting, well, the sun is kind of going down, which probably helps a little bit too, but I think I'm getting used to all the white stuff. Are you sure cardinals are? No, I'm not. I'm trying to get someone to fact check that. I think they are, but I don't know. Oh yeah, pretty good group. We got, of the 5, it's generally grouping low, which I think might just be I'm hanging low on the target when the shot breaks. Potentially. We took 6 shots. 2 are in there, 1 is right, the rest are dead middle but low. So yeah, there we go. Good group generally from 40. So a couple inches low on average. More like 1 inch low on average. But from 40, which isn't bad, but I'd prefer to have, see, ideally, I would have like all 6 of them in the dot. That would be great. But Dad got me a BB gun with 1 warning. If you kill it, you eat it. That is true. You don't waste animals. You got to be responsible with the things you do. In fact, if you guys have seen me shoot my recurve bow, you guys will be seeing the full squirrel hunting video soon. I have a video. I'm not going to make any promises, but I'm like 96% sure, or 96% done, a long form video, and I think I'm going to sit there and finish it tonight. So we should have a video premiere tomorrow. No promises, but highly likely. And then after that, I'm going to premiere a fishing video, and then it's probably going to be the hunting one, the squirrel hunt. But I did a squirrel hunt with a rifle. I took the squirrel, I ate the meat, used the hide to make fly tying dubbing, and I used the tail to make silencers for my recurve bow. So absolutely, if you take an animal, you have a responsibility to use that animal properly and make sure that you honor the life of that animal by using it properly. Cardinals are not migratory birds according to Google. Okay, cool. I still think any sort of songbird's illegal in PA, and I have no need to, as Tonio 1933 says, if you shoot it, you should eat it, and I'm not going to eat it, so I'm not going to shoot it. But anyway, I think there is something relating to them, like liking the cold or whatever. Maybe they change colors in the cold from like brown to red. There's something. So, shot from elevated positions yet. I have not got the climber stand that I said I was going to get yet. I should have asked my girlfriend before she left, because she was here over the weekend and she left today to go back to her college. But her dad has a climber that he was going to give me because he doesn't use it anymore. And I haven't asked her about if he knows about that. I can text him too, so I guess I can ask him eventually. I've always heard cardinals are endangered, or at least illegal to harvest. Yeah. Ever visit the Great Smoky Mountains? I have, actually. Yeah. What does squirrel taste like? It's kind of in texture, it's kind of like pork, but it's a little more like poultry than pork. I'd say it's kind of turkey-ish flavor. It's between turkey and pork, and then the texture's pretty much like pork. So yeah, kind of like a mix taste between turkey and pork. Texture's kind of like pork exactly. Not exactly, but like if I had to pin it on something, I'd say that's the closest thing you're gonna get. So red cardinals on males, brown on females. Yeah, I knew there's something with color and such. So yeah, basically in the Smokies now. Sweet. Yeah, we went to Tennessee. I have a multi-species madness fishing video out from the Tennessee trip. That sort of stuff. I did some filming on the travel. So we went to what is it called? Natural Bridge State Park in Virginia, and then we drove down through that section. All sorts of stuff. But I've been through that area. We drove down through it. My sister had a gymnastics meet, and we got to do some cool outdoor stuff on the way. So we were all happy. The earth is flat. Okay, not really, but how often do you go out for catfish? I used to go out a lot more. In the summer, Bob from Any Fitness Possible, who I was mentioning earlier, he went weekly down into Philly and would do a flathead fishing, like kind of nighttime trip. And I'd go with him, and we did that for a while. And I did that. Got a lot of cool footage. There's a lot of videos out, and there's more actually to come using some of that footage, even from 2024. But last year you didn't do it, and I had work and all that stuff. And if there wasn't like a specific catalyst to me going, I probably didn't go catfishing. I think I catfished maybe 4 times last year, something like that. But yeah, I should get back into doing some more catfish, but it wasn't something I did a lot last year. Is there a lot of Amish in your area? Not specifically here. I'm in southeastern PA, but more south central PA. There's a good Amish population towards Lancaster, which is Lancaster Archery Supplies, where I bought this bow. So, yeah. Virginian hero who is from the Shenandoah Valley. I've lived out of the country and checked on what's a Republic of Russia for many years, though. There you go. Have you eaten hawk before? I've not. All right. Let's see if we can put one in the dot. I don't know where that hit. I can't see it at all. Send multiple arrows at one target. Have you Robin Hooded any yet? I've broken nocks many times. But I don't shoot at the same dot at closer than 40. So at 40, I will, at 40, I will shoot at the same dot because the likelihood of me breaking nocks is lower, but 30 and in, I don't do that because I've broken too many nocks. So me and my friends are always camping out somewhere along the Schuylkill for catfish when it's warmer, though. Yeah. So we've done a lot on Boathouse Row. That's typically where we went for catfish. It was fun to have the boathouses lit up and people walking by, and we'd be catching catfish all night. It was a good time. Good time for sure. Bear hunting? Nope. Not done that. Hello, everyone. That was, I wouldn't call it punchy. It was like I canted my wrist in a weird way when I did it. So the shot, like, yeah, that was weird. I don't know why I did it that way. I mean, it hit pretty well. It was in generally the right spot, but yeah. Reading to Royersford. Interesting. Well, I don't typically, like, give this out on public live, but I may or may not go to school in Reading and live in Royersford. Possibly. Just possibly. That one was low but middle. Middle by, or low by like an inch and a half. That one was middle. Real men shoot traditional bows. I do that as well. I have a recurve that I shoot quite a lot. I shot it yesterday off camera. But yeah, if you're familiar with my channel, those who know, I often bring both out here. I would have done that, but it's snowy, and trekking all that down and up the house from the house, which my house is up on a hill, is just annoying. So I only brought one. What kind of bow? This is a compound bow. Then you're a real man. There you go. Elite terrain, 70-pound draw weight. That was kind of punchy as well. Let's make sure we have a dirty money. Don't. If people are, being facetious, I guess, Just don't engage. I mean, generally, I know you, Dirty Money. Generally, you've been a consistent viewer of the channel, but generally, my general policy is if people get into an argument in the chat and are being mean, then I'll just give them both a timeout. Like, I don't care if I know you or not. Like, I'll just kind of, if there's a tiff, I just get rid of it because I don't want to deal with it. So don't start anything because we're just not here to do that. So observe that you tend to rock the bow from side to side. I wonder how much that affects the shot. Yeah, I'm trying to get my sight bubble level. And then as you can see, the last couple seconds before my shot actually breaks, it should stay still. Because I'm trying to get that sight bubble in the right spot. And then it should sit still. So once I have it in the right zone. So yeah, I'm aware of that. But yeah. So right now, I'll break it down. So my bubble is on the right side, so I'm going to cant it back left a little bit. Now it's in the middle. I'm going to bring it on target, double check. It's too far left. And now I should be stabilized. That was a good shot, too. Victoria Irwin says, hey, Abby's here, too. The rock shim. Yeah, just leave it alone. If you don't agree with what someone says, then just leave it. Generally in my chat, if it's something I deem to be a problem, I'll get rid of it, or one of my mods will. They generally know my policies and my deal. We got Herbert in here right now. I think Randy might be sitting in the background. We have some people with wrenches who can take care of it. No, Dirty Money, you didn't start anything. It was just a general policy. I'm just saying don't engage, because if you get into an argument, I'll just give you both a timeout and get it off my screen. Nothing against you, it's just I don't need to see it. But yeah, no, I wasn't trying to make anything of it. So yeah, have fun. Hey, if you could do me a favor, one of you two, that's my girlfriend and her younger sister who I was just talking about. If you could text my mom or dad or even my sister and tell them that I left my monocular up at the house and it's sitting on my desk and I would like to come up and grab it. That'd be great. And then let me know how they respond. If they're like, yep, got it, then I'll run up there and grab it. So, you ever had target panic? Yeah, everybody has a little target panic. They're trying to work through. I tend to hang low a little bit, and that's one of the things in my sight picture. That's why I'm taking so long as I'm sitting here. It's hanging low, and I'm fighting it back up to middle. Once I get it to hang middle for a couple seconds, then I'll slowly let that trigger break over. And the whole problem is, the reason why you want to punch the trigger, even for people who know that you can't punch the trigger, is because that shot, as you're trying to fight it and keep it up or down or whatever, wherever, some people like to hang right or left. I tend to hang low, and I'm trying to fight it back up. And the reason why you want to slam that trigger is you just want to get the shot off before it starts drifting back low again. That's why you slam the trigger even when you know you're not supposed to. So you really just got to trust it. Nope, I'm going to fight it, let it sit there, trust the float, and then slowly squeeze through it. So we'll do one more arrow to show you what that looks like. So yeah, on pretty much every shot, the thing I'm fighting most is just trying to get it to not hang low. I'm trying to push it back up. Switch to thumb release helps target panic. So a lot of people say things like that, and I've listened to a lot of people who are a lot smarter than me, and generally just know a lot more in the archery industry, have more experience. It will only help temporarily, because as soon as your body learns the mechanics of that, it can go back to doing the same thing. It's all a brain thing. You can punch a thumb release. You can even punch a hinge, which sounds weird, but you can go whoop, and twist it faster. You can shoot panicky, and you can punch stuff no matter what you shoot. It's all about, it'll be okay for a little bit, and then you'll go back to it. Once your body understands the mechanics of that, has that muscle memory, you can go back to it. It's all your brain. You can shoot really, really well with a finger release if you pay attention to it, which I will demonstrate here. I'll do it this way. You should be so very proud of yourself. I can tell you're a very disciplined individual. I'm trying, but I'll do it this way. And whoa, don't fall over, tripod. You don't need that. I'm going to So essentially what you need to do is your brain can only focus on one thing at a time. So you need to get that float comfortable, and then your brain needs to, you just need to stare at the target, keep staring. And you need to completely switch your brain over to, I'm focusing solely on this trigger and not punching it. Slowly squeeze. If you let your brain drift back to the target while you're doing the squeeze, you're going to punch it. You just need to continue focusing on this. And as that breaks over, your body, because you're still staring exactly where you want to hit, your body's going to try and autocorrect and push it back there. Went to thumb release in 25. It also tightened the groups. Yeah, sometimes the hard reset of switching to another release can be enough to break the cycle and then let your brain take over, as long as you're still focusing on it. But if you are disciplined enough, you can shoot just as good with this as you can with the thumb, as you can with a hinge, as you can with your bare fingers. It's all about the mental part. So the release is supposed to be a surprise. Absolutely. So I'll give a demonstration of that for anybody who doesn't know what that looks like. So when I draw it, here's the breakdown. I'm going to get my sight bubble set, all that, and then I'm going to stare directly at the target. Where I want to hit, I'm going to let the pin hover over it. I'm not looking at the pin, I'm looking at the target. Once I feel good about that float, I've stabilized, I'm going to switch my brain over. I'm still staring. My eyes are locked. Watch my eyes. Two things I want you guys to watch. Watch my eyes. My eyes are locked on the target. Then I'm going to slowly squeeze this. It's going to break. As that breaks, my hand's going to go back because it's surprise. I don't know what's going off. My hand is going to go back. My bow's going to kind of come forward a little bit. It's going to break. Almost like I'm pulling, and something snaps, and it goes like that. That's kind of the reaction we're going to have. And my brain is going to, like, super quickly have that float. As long as it's close, it's going to try and autocorrect back to middle. And you just got to trust that. It's something you got to try. Convince yourself to try it. And you work with it for 100 shots, 200 shots, and you'll start to see it work. It seems so counterintuitive, but once you try it, you're like, oh, this works. It's kind of cool. So watch this. I'm gonna go silent, but think about my eyes. Think about watching that trigger and watching it break. That's the deal here. So my hand went like this, and then my brain kind of autocorrected. That hit pretty darn good. Slightly high left, maybe that high left. So there you go. All of a sudden it got cold enough to where my breath is showing a lot. It was like a switch. It's all of a sudden much colder. I don't know what happened. You seem very cool. It'd be awesome to go fishing with you. Well, there you go. Yeah, I guess you seem to be in the area. So I go to Penn State Berks. That's where I go to college. So how far are you shooting? 40 yards currently. Yeah, I don't know what happened. Like all of a sudden, my breath is accumulating in the air more. How many push-ups can you do? It's a great question. If I say something, you're going to want to see it, and I'm going to refuse. So the last time I was asked this question, how many push-ups you can do in a row, my answer was 70. And I was asked to do it. I did 70 in a row. Good, clean push-ups, chest to the floor, back up. No, like, bendy back. I don't know if I can do that anymore, because I was lighter then. I weighed like 155. I weigh 170. Probably 60? That's my guess. 60 push-ups, something like that. Why doesn't my bow roll forwards after the shot? I think you asked me this before. My bow, if I leave it completely open hand, well, if I do that, because my thumb's back here on the rest, of course it'll roll forwards. But if I just leave it right here, it really, the most it wants to roll forwards is like that. It's just kind of how my stabilizer setup is. If I took this off, yeah, you can see it actually wants to sit backwards. And if I took both bars off, I wonder how it'd sit. Both bars off, it still kind of sits a little bit backwards. My bow just really doesn't want to roll forwards. I'm not impeding it from doing that in my follow through. It really just kind of doesn't want to, if that makes sense. That's not the way my bow balances. My bow balances top back a little bit more. So when I put this front stabilizer bar on, it rolls forward just a tiny bit, but not much at all. Yeah, not in the snow. I'm not doing that. Yeah, but Probably 60. That's my guess. 60 in a row is a number I think I could hit still. What's your max? I've shot out to 90 before. That short is on my channel. I think it's like 2 shorts ago, something like that. You can check it out. It should be at the top of my list of shorts, shooting out to 90. So check that out if you would like. Are those quick release stabilizers? Yeah, so I'll show you on the front bar. But I've got this thing here, this little peg, and then you can just twist it, maybe, there you go. And then that peg pops out. And then that peg sits in the hole. You can pop it right back in and then give it a clockwise or righty-tighty, lefty-loosey, whatever, twist, and it will lock back up. So both my stabilizers are like that. All right, let me go grab those arrows. We're losing light fairly quickly. I know the sun or the snow is reflecting a lot of it up, so it probably doesn't seem that way, but it's getting dimmer for sure. Let me go grab my arrows. I'll be back. Skeeter, how's it going? Yeah, archery accessories are pretty advanced nowadays. And even for not a lot of money, you can get some really good stuff. Alrighty. Oh, it's getting chilly. Started trout fishing recently within the last 2 years. Still inexperienced in the big picture. If you take me out fly fishing, I can definitely put you on some catfish. Yeah, I could do that. I'm not like the greatest fly fisherman in the world, but I know like the roll cast and all that, and I can cast pretty well. And I have a good idea of what flies work where. So how you doing today, buddy? Doing well. Doing well. It's getting cold. My breath is visible. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm still ice fishing. Sweet. What's the temperature like out by you, Skeeter? Nice hat. Go Birds. Yep. It's unfortunate our offense coordinator didn't know how to do anything. Or else we'd still probably be in the mix. You see how incomplete some of these teams look, all these turnovers, that sort of stuff. We'd probably still be in the mix if we had like even a halfway decent offense. That was... I don't know where it is. I mean, it hit the target. How fast does that bow shoot? So I'm shooting a fairly short draw length. I shoot 27 inches. I'm 5'9.5", 5'10" I'm just shy of 5'10", and I have fairly short arms for my height. So I shoot 27. Here's what it looks like on me. We'll point it down so it doesn't go anywhere. But like, it's not too short. This is actually my draw length. But yeah, I shoot 27 inches, so keep that in mind. Shooting 424 grains at 260 feet per second. So KP's gone now. Yeah, Howie will come through with a better OC. I really hope so. I mean, McDaniel's out there, Dable's out there. I mean, there's a lot of better people than Patullo. -3 and dropping. Dang. Only one complete team in the playoffs, and they're going to win it all. Who do you think that is? I have an opinion on who I think the most complete is. There's really two I think that look pretty good, and consistent. So Seahawks, yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. I think at 70 pounds, yep, 260, 70 pounds, 27 inches, 424 grains, which is pretty good. So, Seahawks, yep. The Seahawks look really good. That's who I think's going to win. How you doing? Daryl, how's it going? That was a little bit punchy on that shot. Just a smidget. I had a lot of wrist actuation. I tend to notice when I pull like laterally, I'm not as punchy, but when I like pull my wrist down, I'm more punchy. So that's something interesting. That's probably, you probably don't even know. It seems it should be faster. No. I mean, think about it this way. If the IBO speed which is 350 grams at 30 inches and 70 pounds is 320 feet per second, which is fine for a $750 bow. Those numbers all make sense. Like mathematically, I'm an engineering major. Like that makes sense. It's every inch of draw length is about 15 feet per second. So if we say 27's 3 inches less than 30, that's about 45 feet per second, which should take it down to 380. And instead of a 350 or 280, and instead of a 350 grain arrow, I'm shooting 424. Like that, those numbers make sense. So, yeah, I did the math right. Yeah, that should make sense. Here in Spokane, a Seahawks Pats rematch would be fun. Yeah, my uncle's a Pats fan. So and he lives in Denver. He's a Pats fan, born in New England, raised in New England, but he lives in Denver. So I asked him, I said, are you going to go watch the championship? He said tickets, like base level tickets, are like $500. I'm like, ugh. Don't be mad at me. No, I'm not mad at you, Daryl. I mean, I know you're having a rough go at it lately. So, hey, man, I'm here to support any way I can. Hopefully give you some enjoyment to watch. $60-pound bow shoots 296. What's your draw length and what's your arrow weight and what bow is it? Because if it's this bow, I mean, and what's the IBO speed? So there's my three numbers. What's the IBO speed? What grain arrow you shooting and what's your draw length? So I imagine if I had to bet, you'd probably have a longer draw length. A lot of people have a longer draw length than me. So no wonder you're in engineering doing the math in your head. Well, 15 times 3 minus 325 isn't that hard. And then the rest of it's kind of estimation. So 15 times 3 is 45, minus 325 is 280. How old are you and where are you from? Southeastern Pennsylvania, 18 years old. Have people outside of Washington even heard of Spokane? I've heard of Spokane. I've heard of it in something else. I think it was like I heard of a jazz band from Spokane because I play the trumpet. But also Spokane Valley Archery is where Podium Archery is centered out of. So numbers hurt. Is the grain of the arrow just how heavy the head is? So no, it's the overall arrow. So like 340 spine arrow is what I shoot. If you shoot a 329 draw, Matthews lift 400. Yeah. So you shoot a lighter arrow at 2 inches longer draw weight, or it's 2 inches longer draw length, which that's 30 feet per second by itself, which gets you to the 296. Yeah, you shoot a lower poundage. That's about 15. So that brings it back up. And then that 400 plus just Matthews has a more aggressive cam than Elite does. That actually all makes sense. So Matthews has a more aggressive cam. The more aggressive the cam feels, the faster it's going to shoot. So that's just IBO speed stuff. You shoot a lighter arrow at a longer draw length. That all makes sense. So yeah, that number does make sense to me. Yeah, so to answer Kyle's question, The grains is the overall arrow. So like I shoot 340. If you shoot 300, it's a thicker wall, and the overall arrow at the same length is going to be heavier. So the 340, this is 9.3 grains per inch of length. So if you had, you know, something that was 300, it might be 10.1 grains or something. I don't know exactly what it is, but it's more grains per every inch. And it's the overall arrow. That also counts the veins, that counts this. That does count the head, all that. So overall arrow length, or overall arrow weight, is what the grain is. I just don't have any friends that like me. Well, you're welcome to stay here, Daryl. I'm interested, curious. But I'm not. James Norris, I don't know what that means. Talking about, can't follow any of this. We were answering a previous question. I believe it's James Norris, who has a Matthews logo as his profile picture. He's talking about his bow and the speed it shoots. That mostly responding directly to him. But so effectively, the longer draw length you have, at the same, all the other specs held the same, you're going to be faster. Lighter arrow you shoot, it's going to be faster. That's just energy stuff. And the more aggressive the cams, which has to do with the engineering and the shape of the cams, the more aggressive the cams, you're going to be faster. So he was wondering why at a lower poundage his bow shoots faster than mine. And the answer is because he shoots 2 inches longer draw length with a lighter arrow and with a cam that's more aggressive. So that's the answer. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, for sure, Daryl. Feel free to stick around. It's getting dim now. That was punchy. Like, that was punchy a lot. So let's do another arrow. I'm not even going to talk to you guys. I'm just going to fix that. We can't let that habit stick. There you go. That was better. Is it gas powered? Sorry, I'm new. No. That all made sense because a more aggressive cam whips the bow string through faster. Yeah, so even at the same draw weight, you can have things that pull in different spots. So if you're a more aggressive front cam, meaning like right off the rip, it feels heavier, you're going to have a faster bow, even at the same specs everywhere else. And that just has to do with, for example, if you gave, how do I explain this? So if you give more push in certain spots, it's going to impact it differently. For example, if someone's going along at 1 mile an hour to the crest of a hill and then they're going to come down, that hill is going to accelerate them. So if you get them to the bottom of the hill and you give them a 100-pound force push at the bottom of the hill, that's not going to help them much. But if you give them that 100-pound force push at the top of the hill, then that's going to get them over the crest of the hill faster to the part where they are accelerating faster. And then they're gonna get to the bottom of the hill way before the other person does. So where the force is put in the draw cycle matters as to how fast the bow is going to be. So even at the same draw weight, if the cam's shaped differently and it feels more aggressive, it's going to be faster because it's putting the force in different spots in the draw cycle. That's what it's doing. So I don't want the surgery on my brain, but they tell me I need it. Well, yeah. What's the bow height? 32.5 axle to axle, I think. Been to Black Rock Dam for catfish? I have. If you sift through my videos, you'll find a couple from there. So if you sift through them, which obviously you don't have to, but there's quite a few videos I filmed there. There you go, Daryl. Sweet. What broadheads do you use? So we were talking about this earlier. Let me make a shot, and then I'll come back to that question. Because we're getting dim quickly. I'm going to do one more group. So I'm going to take a shot. We'll go grab that, and then I'll answer your question. that was a little punchy. All right. Let me answer your question. I'll go grab it, and then I'm going to take 6 straight shots, just trying to focus, not read chats in between. Make sure I can end the day on some good groups, not punching the trigger, all that. What broadheads do you use? So James asked that. I haven't fully decided on what broadheads I'm going to use for this upcoming hunting season. I know I'm going to get some G5 Montex, which are a fixed blade broadhead, and I'm going to broadhead tune my bow with the fixed blades. And, you know, practice shooting at broadhead stuff with those. Because if I can get my bow shooting straight with a fixed blade broadhead, a mechanical is definitely going to shoot straight. I may end up shooting the Montex for the actual hunting season, but I'm not sure. I might get a mechanical to actually shoot for the hunting season, but I'll have the Montex. If, you know, I don't have time to figure out what other broadhead I'm going to use, then I'll just use those. I'm going to have the bow broadhead tuned with the Montex shooting dead straight. So then if I do get a mechanical that I like, that's definitely going to shoot straight, because they've got way less surface area than a mechanical does. So that will definitely be all right. Gonna buy some Montex here shortly and start working on broadhead tuning, and then I'll determine whether I'm gonna get a different mechanical later in the season as well. Hunting license needed, yes, in Pennsylvania. When do you have to get a new hunting license? I think it's in the middle of the year. Is it June? So I have mine that I used last year for squirrel hunting and that sort of stuff. I think I need a new one in June. I think it's middle of the year, but June. Yeah, thanks, Tim. Sweet. All right, let me go grab those arrows. I'm going to do one end, just really focus, not talk to you guys a bunch, and then I can talk to you guys as light fades out and we pack up. So, got to run, Nolan. Been educational as always. Well, thanks, Herbert. All right, let me go run down there, grab those arrows. We're going to shoot one more end and then call it wraps. On the way back, I tripped over something hidden in the snow. Hidden in the snow. Can't speak. It almost face planted, but we recovered. Whew. James says I'm out. Have a good day. Good to talk to you, James. I've seen some rock hounding and crystal hunting videos. Have you ever thought about gold prospecting? Yeah, I have done some of that, just minor stuff, in Colorado, out with my aunt and uncle when we went to visit them. I've got like $2 worth of gold flakes to my name, but I've actually been looking for some opportunities to do some other stuff. So if you're someone who does that sort of stuff, hey man, always willing to do tips and link up if you're in the area. I live in southeastern Pennsylvania, and I've been doing some occasional gold panning around here, trying to see what there is, but there's not a ton of stuff in this area, and I haven't had much luck here in PA, but I found a couple little flakes in Colorado. Those videos are out on the channel. So if anyone's interested in gold panning stuff and rock hounding stuff and all that, it exists. Yeah. Flash in your pan. That's an awesome name. What's your channel all about? So my whole channel, I'm going to answer this question and then shoot like 3 shots all focused. Glaciated part of PA has some color. Yeah, the glaciated part's up in the up by Lake Erie in the northeast, and I'm in the northwest, and I'm in the southeast. So I'm about as far away from that as I could be. So there's a little bit that makes its way down here, but not much. But my channel is all about just exploring the outdoors, learning. I present things in a very educational way. I talk about the mistakes I've made, the learning experiences I'm having, bring you guys along for the adventure. I'm not an expert in anything, but I tell you guys what I do know and what I'm learning, and hopefully you guys can follow along. All right, I'm gonna shoot 3 shots without talking to y'all, try and focus on it, and then I'll come back, and depending on how much light we have, we'll shoot 3 more, but this might be it. I'm gonna focus for 3 shots, not talk to you guys, so just hold on. There you go. Lancaster County, maybe. I'm in southeastern Pennsylvania too. Love your channel. Sweet, thank you. I'm very technical. I just think it looks cool and sounds cool. There you go. Lancaster County, maybe. I am in currently Montgomery County, but I dabble in Berks a lot. I go to college at Penn State Berks, so I dabble in Berks a lot. Occasionally make my way to Schuylkill or Bucks. Lancaster, I go out there sometimes, all that sort of stuff. But I dabble in many areas, but I'm currently in Montgomery. Delaware and West Virginia has some good gold pan too. A lot of hunters in the prospecting community. You never know what you might find. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, no, I mean, I'd love to get to do some gold panning with someone who knows more than I do, because I'm kind of self-taught, and I've done pretty well with being self-taught. Given the fact that, you know, I've capitalized on both my opportunities back out in Colorado and got a little bit, but I'd love to have some better opportunities and get to know some people who know a little bit more. So, all right, we're gonna shoot one more arrow. That might be it, but we're gonna really focus on this one, end the day right, and then we'll go grab them and start to pack up. The snow's reflecting a lot of light up, but you can see on my face it's getting dim for sure. All right, here we go. I'd prefer to do one more because that one hit a little bit low. Ended on a good note. That's better. How's it going? Yeah, it is getting dark fast. It's going good. We're just about wrapped up. Nice shot. Well, thank you. I'm gonna go down there and grab them. Not sure about PA, but I prospect and dredge for Golden Ohio. But it all takes a little doing. Research your area via DNR and other sites. Yeah. Closest area that actually has recorded gold is half an hour from me. I'm sure there's very trace amounts in another area, but that's the only area. There's one area that has any recorded gold within half an hour of me. Everywhere else is at least 40 minutes from me that has any official records of gold being there. But I'm totally interested in that stuff. I'm glad you found me. Because I'd totally love to talk about some of that stuff more in the future. Man, it is getting dark quick. Let me go grab these arrows in the target. We'll work on packing up and we'll get back over to the house. It's definitely getting dark quick. All right, let me go grab that. I'll be back. Alrighty, right before we end, you can see I left my target right there. I'm gonna do what's called a blind bail from 5 yards, which is where I get my, I'm gonna do one shot probably. I get my hover locked on from super close range, and then I close my eyes and wait for like 5-6 seconds, and then break the shot, like just focusing on the squigger trees. No, the trigger squeeze, that one. So yeah, what that does is it shows you where your like biases are, like where you like to drift, and just lets you focus on a good clean break to close the day. So we're going to do that real quick and close out the day. All right. That actually makes sense. That makes sense with everything I've been doing today. Hit dead middle, but a little low. I held my eyes closed for 4 or 5 seconds before I let it break. Ugh. All right, so you guys can't see me much anymore. There we go. There we are. Yeah. Been subscribed for a little while and saw you were live. Well, thank you. Yeah. So, I'll have to. Yeah, it did really get dark quickly. I'm gonna grab some of my arrows, get them back in the case. We're essentially I'm gonna pack up my case and close it up to carry it up to the house, but there's snow in it. It's got a little moisture, so once I get back into the garage, when we're back up at the house, and I'm done for the night, I'm going to reopen it and let it sit out overnight to make sure all the moisture that's in there evaporates out, that sort of stuff. But the arrow's got snow on the tips, all that sort of stuff. I'm just gonna put it in and then deal with it later. But yeah, I was on a live the other day, and I was showing off some of my rock hounding finds. And I think that that's something I'm gonna do at some point in time, doing a live breaking down like all the coolest stuff I found. And yeah, if I decide to do that, I'll probably talk about it beforehand, but hopefully you can get to see that one. That's both these. I think that'd be a really fun one to do. Oh, this way. All right, and one more, and then get the bow back in there, and all that. We'll carry it up to the house. Oh. All right, got those in there. Oh, we got one more arrow sitting on target. All right, put this one in here. Okay, let me see what's going on over here. I'll keep an eye out for it. Sweet. Look like the dude from Blair Witch Project when you turned on the flashlight. There you go. All right, let's get the bow. Get my stabilizer bars off and put in here. Gotta like straddle it so I'm not stepping over it with my snowy boots and getting even more snow in there. Do this. Do this. All right. Take off the release. That's the last thing. It is getting cold. All right. How do we do this? We do it like this. All right. Closed up. Cold hands. No big deal. We'll figure it out. Oh, that's cold. All right. Both sides are snowy. We'll have to get the other side up at the house. Grab the target. Ozark. Do all your neighbors know about your YouTube channel? Some of them do. I film outside in the yard and such sometimes. So, I'm sure some people, even if they don't expressly know, have figured it out. Alright, here's the deal. I got a tripod. Effectively, I have too many things to carry. I don't know how to do this. Can I carry this and the bow in one hand? Oh, that's going to be heavy. Hey, What do I lift for if I can't do this? The target is like 50, probably not 50, probably 40 pounds. And this is heavy and awkward. I just don't know if I can do them in the same arm. Or I can go like this. We're gonna figure it out. All right, there you go. All right, so we're gonna hold this like this. All right, you're gonna look at the ground for a minute, but we're gonna make it. Hold on. I'm trying to do this in one trip. We're gonna see if we can. Oh, you can't see a darn thing. All right, here's a new strategy. Thread the tripod through the handle. Oh yeah, this is good. All right, we're on the move. All right, now we walk up the big hill in 6 inches of snow. Quick break. We're working on it. Oh, all right. Whew. All right, back to the house. Oh, now I'm out of breath. You're welcome, Dan. Came across your channel about a week ago and subbed. Got a solid channel, 100% worth watching. Thank you, I try my best. No way you went to a random section of woods behind the development. That's awesome. Yeah, so it's actually, that is township owned land. And if you look at the map, you can see it's township owned land. It's a little nature preserve and nobody goes back there. So I just went, cut down a couple weeds, a couple bushes, and all of a sudden I've got a whole 40-yard straight shot to shoot at. Works out well. Nobody ever goes back there. It's just a little plot of wood. So all right, we made it. I have to get some stuff done. Honey-do list stuff. Yep, but great chatting with you. Good live. Keep up the great work. Thank you. Thank you. I'll have to make sure I take a look at your channel, see what type of stuff you got on there. But yeah. All right, y'all. Well, we had about an hour and a half worth of shooting in the snow today. It was good. Made some progress. Wasn't my best day of shooting, but I got some experience shooting in snow with a little snow blindness action, which is pretty cool. Got some work on more fundamental stuff. And we know what we're going to work on next time, so which is always a good thing. There's always more stuff to get better at. But yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time. It was a good live. Thanks for coming in. Have a good one, y'all. Having your own range in the backyard, save money, more money to spend on toys, aka bow and arrows, accessories. That's right. Yeah. See you guys. Thank you all.